Hello everyone, this is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and today I am finally doing a video that was requested months ago, and that is a nail polish collection show and tell. And I've done kind of something similar to this before when I went through and organized some of my nail polish. So I will link that video because I pulled out some bottles that I needed to swatch and just kind of swatched a few of those and just organized things a little bit. But I didn't go through all of the bottles and show you the colors that I had. So today I'm going to do that. So I think it's going to be a bit of a long video, and we'll see how organized of a video it will be. So this case here is something I have had for many years. I got this for Christmas, I think probably when I was a preteen, maybe 11 or 12, and I use it to store my nail polish. Now, I have a lot of nail polish, you will see, and I have collected this nail polish since I was a little girl, really. Some of this I have stolen from my mom, but a lot of it is just stuff I've kind of gathered or friends gave to me, things that I just kind of picked up because I thought I might like the color. So I have lots and lots of nail polish in here, and you will see I have some funky colors that I honestly could get rid of, but I like to keep them for no real particular reason. But I think today we shall see if I want to do a little organizing as well, because I have some swatch sticks, and I would like to have swatch sticks of all of the nail polish that I have, and I don't know that that is the case. I think that I have swatch sticks for most of them. So I'm going to show you the bottles, and then we'll see if I am ambitious, and I will maybe do some organizing, figure out which ones I have swatches for already, which ones I need to swatch, and maybe I'll do it depending on how long this is. I might make a part 2 of swatching nail polish so that I can have swatch sticks. And a lot of this nail polish also will probably be settled, where it's like I need to shake up the bottles. I'm probably not going to be doing that too much, but I mostly just kind of want to go through them and show you what I have in my collection. So this container, or this organizer, is where most of my nail polish is. And then I actually have a tub just off to the side that has kind of some of my more commonly used nail polishes, so things that I usually just keep out or ones that I travel with. And then I also have a separate tub just for like top coats and base coats, and I have, you know, some like matte top coats for different finishes, things like that. So I will maybe go through those as well. I have them out in case I want to go through them. But I think let's go ahead and open this up. It is very large, so I might need to open it up and figure out my camera angle. So it has these 2 clasps that keep it nice and securely closed. As you can see, it does have little lock like keyholes here. I think that I lost the keys for this like years ago, so it is never actually locked. And then it does have this very convenient handle at the top for when I am moving it around. And then this just opens just like that. Let's see if I can do it on this side. Just gonna leave it like that for now, but then you can see that here are some trays. And this top tray, I have just my swatch sticks. You can see, like, this swatch stick is mostly just toppers, glitter, kind of stuff like that. And then I have some extra binder rings or book rings down here for other swatches. And this one is just a ring of a particular brand. I got a gift set of nail polish, and in my previous video I was mostly just swatching these from that gift set. And so these ones are really pretty. Over the winter I did, I think, Hot Crush, this one with the fire sparkles over top of it, and it was really like just a pretty holiday sparkly red. And over here I have some more of my base colors. I have reds and purples, lots of my like neutrals and blacks, and like blues, greens, and yellows. So that is what is in the tops of these trays. And then these trays just pull apart just like that. So now you're not going to see the tops of the trays anymore because they're out of shot. But you can see I have a few different trays, and I used to keep most of my press-on nails in here as well. And then I kind of went a little crazy and mostly just do press-ons now. And so I have an entirely different organizing system for those, but these are just kind of some of my extras and maybe packs that I just kind of don't really reach for as much, or like I have a few extras of this one and so I just keep it in here. But I do have a couple of drawers or trays here that I could use to organize with. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I might put a few bottles kind of just like laid down like that. You can see this one is very separated. I'm sure I have lots of nail polish in here that needs to be revived a little bit, but that might be for another video. So in here on the bottom of the organizer you can see I have all of my nail polishes. And in my previous video, what I did was pull out all of the ones that didn't have these little circle labels on the top, because I like to have them swatched on the top with the actual color, so that it is very easy for me when I am just looking over my nail polishes. I can very quickly see what nail polish is what. So I think what I'm going to do is just pull each bottle out one at a time and see if I can find it on my swatch rings, and that way I can also be organizing while I'm doing this show and tell. And any that don't have swatches I will set off to the side to swatch. Let's maybe start, I have a few kind of underneath these trays. Let's start with this one. This one is a purple, and this says LA Colors Color Craze in the color Boomerang. Let's see, Boomerang. So this one is just a very basic purple. I don't really wear bright colors as much anymore as I used to, but I feel like it's always good, especially if you're doing a costume or, you know, a specific outfit. It's always nice to have colors that fit that. So this one, I'm going to see if I have a swatch stick for it. I'm going to grab my swatch ring with my purples. And here we go. Yes, I see LA Colors Boomerang. So I do have that one. I'm going to set these over here. Alright, let's do this next one. This one, again, is quite separated. is a blue. It's a very almost like electric metallic blue by Finger Paints. And this is in the color, looks like Add and Abstract. So let me see on my ring of blues. Looking for Finger Paints, Add and Abstract. There we go. So I do have that one. That is good. Let's see. I'll try and keep going with like purples and blues. This one is it's a gel effect polish by Gellusion, and it is a kind of deeper blue. I think it's showing up a lot brighter on the camera than it actually is. And let's see if I can find the color for this. I don't actually see a color name, which I think tells me that I probably do not have this one swatched. Let me see if I have just Gellusion on here, because I could have done that. I could have just written the brand name. Oh, I do. It looks like I do have a color. So I have Gellusion, and then it says Virgo number 21. So I wonder if on like the box that it came in, I imagine it maybe had the name with that, but that did match that blue. Like that matches. So I do have a swatch for that one. Let's do this kind of very pretty mint. This was one of my favorite summer colors. And it is by Pure Ice. And the color is, let's see, Home Run, I believe is the color. So let me see. I assume I have a swatch for that. Yes, Pure Ice Home Run. That's this one here, which is very similar to this flower swatch I have, but just slightly different. Which is ridiculous, I think, for me to have both of them, but here we are. Okay, let's do this blue. Oh my gosh, this one. This is one of the liquid sands by OPI. And let's see if I can find the color. Color is Get Your Number. So this is one of those, I think I probably got this in middle school. This is one of those that you paint on, and then when it dries, it has like a sand, like grit texture. And it's quite an interesting one to still have. I don't think I've used this in forever, but I should have the swatch of that. Yes, this one here. And it is beautiful. Like, it's a very pretty, sparkly blue, but the texture is just really interesting, and you don't really get texture like that anymore. Like, it's just not the style. I have the swatch for that. Let's do this one. This is a flower nail polish, and I'm pretty sure that I have a swatch for that, but we'll check. This one is called, I have some like my dog fur stuck in it. This one is called Bluebell of the Ball, and it's a very pretty like denim blue color, and so it's almost like a cool toned blue, and I really love it with my skin tone. I just think it's really pretty. So let's look for flower, and it is Bluebell of the Ball. Yes, this one here. So that one is just so pretty and denim, like it just looks like denim to me. I really like that one. Alright, this one looks like a blue. Blue by Sally Hansen. And this is in their Hard as Nails Extreme Wear line. And this one is called Pacific Blue. There we go. Pacific Blue. And it is separated a good bit. Let's see if I have this one. I'm looking for Sally Hansen Pacific Blue. There we go. See, that one is like just way, way bright. Like I said, I don't wear too many of these bright colors anymore, but I also can't find myself parting with them, which is a little bit silly, I think. See, this is a very, very deep, deep blue. Almost looks black, and then you kind of shift it into the light. You can see that blue, and this just says color, like the brand color on the front. And there is other writing on here that's just really difficult to see with the dark color as the background. Let's see if it has a color name. Okay, I believe the name is Williamsburg. Let's check if we have Williamsburg on here. I do. Here it is. I have the brand color and then Williamsburg. So that is what that looks like. Kind of very, very dark, dark blue. It's very pretty. This would be a really pretty, like, winter color. I mostly use my nail polish now to do press-on nail designs because I got into rock climbing a few years ago and I hate the feeling of having painted nails while I'm rock climbing. And so press-ons make it easy for me to have cute nails and then be able to remove them before I go climbing. Alright, so let's see. It's a yellow. I think I have some more blues here. We'll do this one. Oh, this is actually kind of a silver. That's okay. So this is another one by Pure Ice. And it's a very, very pretty silver color. Let's see what the shade name is. Shade name is Silver Star. I don't know if it's going to show. Silver Star. Let's double check and see if I have that one. I think that one might be on this keychain. Yes, I have Pure Ice Silver Star right here. It's very similar to this Finger Paints silver, except the Finger Paints one is a little bit more metallic. Okay. Let me do this purple. This is a deep, deep, almost like a Merlot purple. And this, I think, just came in a set of nail polish that I got when I was very young and just getting into nail polish. My parents got me a set by the Color Workshop. And this one I don't think has names. Like, I think this brand didn't really have names, but I think it has a number down here. So I think I do have a swatch for this. I think it's the on the purples. It would be a Color Workshop. See, this one says 16. So let me double check and see if this says 16. I don't know if it'll see it, but that does say 16. So I do have the swatch for that one. I mean, which makes sense. I think most of these older ones that I have, I am going to have swatches for. I think it's mostly like newer ones that I've purchased or been gifted that I'm not going to have a swatch for. Alright, let's do, maybe we'll do this pretty blue sparkly one that's very separated. There we go. This is another one by Pure Ice, and the shade is Wide Awake. It's just this very pretty, sparkly blue. Reminds me of like very bright ocean waters. Let's see if I have the swatch for that. So that is Pure Ice Wide Awake. Not seeing that here, but actually that's a glitter, so I think it would be on my toppers. Yes, so here is that. It is Pure Ice Wide Awake. As you can see, it has almost like a milky base and then the blue sparkle. So this would definitely be one that you do with like a blue or just a different color underneath it. And then you just get the sparkles on top. This is another silver one, and I do remember actually seeing the swatch for this because this was very similar to the Pure Ice one, but I'll just double check and make sure. So this is by Finger Paints. You can see it's a little bit worn. I actually got this nail polish for one of my homecoming looks back in high school, and this is in the shade Easel Come, Easel Go. It's just a very, very pretty metallic-y silver. It's just really nice. So Finger Paints. Easel Come, Easel Go. Yes, it is this one there. It's very, very pretty, very metallic-y. Let's go ahead and grab. I'm not really doing much of a color theme now anymore. Although this one is blue. Alright, so this one is by Sally Hansen. Again, in the Hardest Nails Extreme Wear line. And I am very rough on my hands, so I do not like nail polishes that are like delicate. I like ones that can like withstand me. And this one is a blue with lots of sparkles all in it. And it's just very, very cool. And it is in the shade Blue Boom. Blue Boom. Let me find the swatch for that. It might be up here. Yes, it's in my toppers one. Because it is quite sheer. I think you could do a few coats, but then it would just get really thick with all the glitter. So I think this is another one. It's really good with the color underneath. And then you could do this right on top. It's just very, very pretty. All of those blue sparkles. It's very fun. And it's got some of these kind of bigger chunks of glitter as well. It's very lovely. Let's do this one here. This one is by Sally Hansen. It's in the high definition nail color line, and it is a kind of like a sea foamy green. And I believe I actually did another like a nail polish video, and I painted some press-ons in this color. I think it was one of these colors, and this is in the shade, I think Resolution. I kind of have it partially covered. But I think that says Resolution. It's very, very pretty. This is one of my favorite, like, summery colors when I used to do really big, bright colors like this. Let's find that in the swatches. Yes, here we go. So it is Resolution number 13. And here is that very pretty green shifting nail polish. And I really like this one. I'm not as big of a fan of bright colors anymore, but I do like these ones that just have some like interest and intrigue in them. They're not just one flat color. one of their crinkled chrome lines. So does anybody remember the crinkle polish? So you would do one color underneath and then you would do this crackle or crinkle polish over it, and then it would crackle and leave like a really interesting finish underneath or over top that color. And this was in the shade Don't Be Foiled. So it's this like blue foil color, and you can almost see some of that texture on this swatch up here. It just dries like very crinkly. It's a really interesting polish. I feel like this was a trend for a while, and then I just don't really use them much anymore. So this is China Glaze in Don't Be Foiled. Here we go. Here is the swatch for that one, and you can see the texture is really interesting. So I think this is different than the crackle that I was talking about. It looks like a solid nail polish, but it just kind of crinkles. So there's some texture on it, which is interesting. I'm not as big into like textured nail polish anymore, but it's kind of fun to have stuff like this still in my collection. And it's nostalgic. Okay, I just got a call, so I had to adjust my angle a little bit, but let's keep going. I'm going to just grab this one here. This one is also by OPI. This is another one of those liquid sand colors. This one is in the shade Solitaire, and it is a white, very pretty, sparkly white shade. Let's try and find this on the swatch. I think that would be this ring here. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. So this is OPI Solitaire, and you can see it almost dries down into like a creamy white color, and it's very, very sparkly and very interesting texture. Again, it's just that liquid sand texture that's very, very interesting. This other topper. This is by LA Colors, and it is a glitter topper. That's the top the swatch looks like. And this one is called Sparkling Diamond. And this one is just like a good basic glitter topper. Here is Sparkling Diamond. So it does have kind of a like milky background and then chunky and smaller bits of glitter. There we go. I haven't had to set aside any yet. Just watch. But most of these are my older colors, so that kind of makes sense. Ooh, this one is by Sally Hansen, and it is the Big Glitter Top Coat. And you can kind of see it's like chunky blue bits of glitter. And the name of this one is Blue Moonlight. So there's bits of blue and silver, bits of chunky glitter in here. Here we go. This is Sally Hansen's Blue Moonlight. That's what it looks like. So you can see kind of the bigger pieces of glitter right there. one is by a brand called Nina. It's the Nina Ultra Pro line, and it is a bright, bright red. And it is called Red Fox. Ooh. And this one is a very, very bright, warm, orangey red. I really like cooler toned colors on my skin, but I do think it's good to have just classic, like bright reds like this. So I should have that one swatched. This one here, Nina Red Fox. As you can see, it is quite bright. It's just like a good classic red. Is an older one by Maybelline, and I may have snagged this from my mom or my grandma. It is one of the revitalizing colors, and it's kind of like a corally pink, or like a soft pink. I think it's called maybe Rodeo Rose, or something like that. Just kind of interesting. So it's a very like corally rose color. Let's try and find that on my pink swatches. I don't have too many Maybelline colors, so here we go. Maybelline Rodeo Rose. So it's a very pretty pink, rosy, but kind of corally color. Like it definitely leans warmer, like a warmer rose. Here I have an accidental little sticker attached to it. This one is a sheer, like brown. I think that this one is really, really old because I cannot even tell what brand it was. I think this might have been a Revlon, maybe, but it does have a number at the bottom, just 21. I'm not too sure if I would have this one swatched because I don't know what I would have written, but I'm going to try and find, because I wonder if it used to have a name before I got my hands on it. Don't see it there. I think this one is actually my first one that I don't have a swatch for. I'm going to set it off to the side and see if I can even get a good swatch for it. It is a really pretty kind of like brown purpley shade, but I have no idea like what brand this would even be, and I think it needs some like restoration work done to it. I do have like Seshvi Restore that I can do some drops to make it a little bit better, but I'm going to set this one off to the side because I might do a swatch of it at another time. This one is a nail polish by The Color Workshop again, and it's kind of like a taupey brown color. And again, these ones don't have names. You can see it's a little bit discolored at the bottom where it needs to be mixed. These ones don't have names, but they do have numbers, and this one I think says 12 on the bottom. So I'm going to see if I can find The Color Workshop number 12. Here we go, The Color Workshop 12. So you can see it's kind of like that. Just pretty basic taupey brown. But I do like this one for in the fall. I've done quite a few polish looks in the fall with this color as just like an underneath for accent nails or something. But it's a good basic brown. This one here is another very taupey color. Mix it up a little bit. It's almost like a taupey gray. and it is by OPI. You can see I got it on sale at TJ Maxx for $3.99, and I just never took the sticker off of it. And this one is in the shade, let's see, Coconuts over OPI. It's kind of clever, but it is really like a coconutty color. So I think I should have a swatch for that in my neutrals. Looking for OPI. I think it's going to be down here. I don't see it there. Interesting. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I do not have that one swatched. So that one, I guess, just always eluded me. So this one I'm also going to set off to the side because I do also like this one in the fall, just for that taupey gray color. Here is a bright orange that I don't know, honestly, that I've ever worn, but one of my friends had it like in high school, and she had like a bunch of nail polish, and she wanted to know if I would take them, and I was like, sure, whatever. So this one is by LA Colors, and you can see it's like a traffic cone orange, and it is called Spat. S-P-A-T, Spat. I don't really get it, but it's a very, very bright orange. I don't have too many of those, so I think it's gonna stand out right there. LA Colors, the Spat. So yeah, it's a very, very, very bright orange. I'm not gonna get rid of it because who knows why. Here's another gray taupey color. This one is, I think, more gray than the other one, but it is by OPI Nature Strong. This is Natural Origin Lacquer. Don't really know exactly what they would use, but it's kind of interesting. And this one is in the shade Dawn of a New Gray. Yeah, so it's definitely a gray. And I do like that it is kind of still taupey, so it's not just like a silver gray. That one is quite nice again in the fall. I think it would be on this one if I had it, but there was a period of time where I had gotten a few nail polishes and I hadn't swatched any of them. I don't see that one here. It might be on the blues and silvers, but I don't see it here either. Okay, so I will set that one off to the side as well to get swatched. This is another older nail polish by Avon. I don't think I've shown any Avon ones before. And it's kind of a corally orange. Let's see what this one is called. This one is called Coral Sands. So my coral description is pretty spot on. And you can see that it almost has like an interesting color shift in the bottle. So let's see if I have this one. That one's another like fun summer color. Here it is, Avon Coral Sands. You can see it's like that peachy corally color. I think it's much more of a wearable orangey color than this one. This one here is another very, very bright coral color. It is by L'Oreal. And I got this one on sale for $2.22 somewhere. I don't remember where. And this one is called, let's see, Tangerine. And yeah, it's a very tangerine color. Let's see if I have it here. I don't see it here, which is where I think that it would be. Yeah, okay. That's interesting. I don't have that one swatched yet. I am going to put this off to the side with the other ones. I think it's like every now and then when I go to a store and I see their like discount nail polishes, I get suckered in. This one is a brown color by Finger Paints. And there's the top swatch for it. It's like a coppery brown. Let's see if we can see the color. It looks like it's called Artist's Inspiration. I don't really quite get it, but it is like a metallic brown color. It's not fully mixed in, but it is a very pretty one. Let's see, I think that one would be on this swatch ring. Here's that Finger Paints Artist's Inspiration. So you can see it is a brown, but it is a bit like coppery or metallic. So it's a little bit, it's not just the boring plain brown. This one is an older one, and I think that the brand was Tropez or Tropez. I'm not entirely sure, but the name is Bali Orchid, and it is this very pretty like brown merlot, like red. It's just a really interesting color, and it looks quite different in the bottle than actually on the swatch, and it looks different in different lighting. I think it would be in the purples and the reds. Here is this one. Yes, it was Tropez Bali Orchid. You can see it's just such an interesting like brown red color. Like it's such a deep red. And it's almost brown. Here is another like gray, like taupey, kind of creamy gray, and this one is by Wet n Wild, and the color name is Yo Soy. So yeah, it's like a soy color. I think that's pretty accurate. Let's see if I can find the swatch for that one. It would be over here. I don't see it. I think I don't have a swatch for that one. I will put it over with the other ones. I think that I was clearly in a mood of like these kind of cool tone like grays and taupes and like cream colors for a while, which is why I have quite a few of them that I haven't swatched. This one is a very sparkly, chunky gray, and you can see I accidentally spilled some like top coat or something on it. And this one is by China Glaze, and the name of this one is, let's see, Silver of Sorts. It's a very pretty silvery, like chunky silver top coat, and I'm pretty sure I do have a swatch for that. Here we go. Here's the China Glaze Silver of Sorts. You can see it is very sparkly, very pretty, Just like a gorgeous, I mean, I love glitter top coats. Who doesn't love a glitter top coat? Except for when you're trying to remove it. Stick in the glitter theme for a little while. This is another one by the Color Workshop, and you can see it's just huge chunks of gold glitter. So that's the top swatch. And this one has a number, I think that it's a number 3 on the bottom. I need the Color Workshop. And this one I just put gold glitter. But yeah, you can see it is a very pretty gold. And that would be really lovely with like a lighter nude underneath it, or just a solid gold as well. It's very pretty. Here is a kind of brighter, like coral color. I think on the camera it's coming off very orange, but it's definitely a little bit more pink in person. And this one is by LA Colors. And the color name, and I don't actually see a color name on here, but there is a 14 on the bottom. So I'm going to see if I can find that one. I do have an LA Colors with a name, but I'm not entirely sure if that is that bottle. Because, I mean, it does look like it could be. So I'm going to set this one off to the side just in case, and if I find this one in here, then I'll know that I still need a swatch for this. This one is a deep purple, well, it's actually kind of more blue, but it's got like a purple shift to it, and it is a gel effect nail polish, but it says no UV needed. And it is by Aurora. It says made in Italy. And this one is called Inky Dinky. Yeah, so it is kind of like an inky blue, purpley color. Let's see if I have this one swatched. I do. So here it is. It is very, very blue, but yeah, it does have a little bit of a slight purple to it as well. It's a very pretty deep color. Another good one, I think, for winter. This one, holy cow, is bright, bright. This one is by China Glaze, and it is called In the Limelight, and then in parentheses, neon. Yeah, it is a very bright neon green. I think this was in those nail polishes that my friend gave to me years ago. I think they were mostly, like most of the bright ones that I have, I think, were in the bag of polishes that she gave to me. So it's a very, very bright, bright green. I should be able to find this one very easily. And it is right there. In the Limelight. I do like the names are always kind of clever for nail polish, right? Very, very punny. This one is a kind of a mustardy yellow color. And I don't know what brand this is actually. The Brash, is that the brand? I'm not too sure. I think I got this one in a Nipsey bag. And the name is Gone Bananas. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a banana color, but I would say it's a little more neon. Like a little bit more mustardy than a banana color, which is kind of interesting. So I should be able to pick that one out pretty quickly if I have it swatched, but I don't know if I do. I do, here we go. Brash Gone Bananas. There we go. Yeah, it's a very, very bright yellow color. This one is a polish joke. Maybe they were a little bit bored that day. Here is the top swatch. Very, very pretty gold. So I do like that one for I feel like it makes me feel very, very fancy. That one is this one here. It's very, very shiny. It is quite yellow. I am a bit more of a silver person, but it's nice to have these metallic shades as well. This is another gold, but it's actually a little bit more up my alley because it's like a classic kind of a brownie gold. So it's a little bit more wearable, I think. And this one is by Nina. And the color is called Gladiator. That's a good name for this, I think. It's just a very classic, pretty, very pretty metallic gold. I think it could be over here. Yes, Nina Gladiator. Here we go. Very lovely gold shade. Here is an older nail polish, again probably stolen from my mom, and some hair along with it. And this one is by Nail Slicks, I think, or CG. I'm not actually sure what brand this is, but the color is Natural Blush, and that's a perfect name for this. It's very a creamy color, but it's a little bit more pink. It's coming off very yellow in the camera. It's a little more pink in person. It's a very just pretty classic light neutral shade. Here we go. This is the Natural Blush. A good, lovely, basic neutral. This is a teeny tiny little one that I got. I think also a lot of these kind of brighter colors I also got from Ipsy when I had an Ipsy subscription years ago. This one is by the brand, I think, Formula X, and the color is called Power Source. It's a very bright neon pink, a very hot pink color. I think it comes off a little more orangey on the camera. There's that one. I think it would be on this key ring. Here we go. Formula X Power Source. Yeah, it is. It's definitely more hot pink in person than what you're seeing. Here is a MAC color, one of my only MAC colors. I think it might be the only one I actually have, but again, gifted to me. This one is a very true neon electric pink, and here's the top. And this one is called, let's see, Cream Steamy. I don't really know. Very, very bright pink color. I don't really wear pink as much as I used to. Here is that MAC color. So you can see it's a little bit more muted than some of the other ones, but it is still very, very bright pink. This one is another polish by the Color Workshop, and you can see it's kind of an interesting shift. It's a brown color, but it's just got interesting shifts to it. So I think that one might be here. Okay, so it is this one here, the Color Workshop 10. There we go. So you can see it's like a very deep brown, but it is like a tiny bit metallic, so it's kind of an interesting one. A lot of the Color Workshop ones are very sheer and definitely need a few coats. I am finding this swatch. This says blank bottle 21. I think that it is this one that I had set off to the side because on the bottom it does have 21. So I have found a swatch for this one, so I no longer need to swatch it. This one needs to be mixed, and it is by Mary Kay. It is such a lovely, very like kind of like pearly color. It's like another beautiful, beautiful like neutral taupe, and the name is called Superstar right there. It's almost like a gold, but it's a little bit more like sheer than that, a little bit more pearly. Here we go, Mary Kay Superstar. So you can see what I mean. Like it is kind of a silvery gold, like pearl color. Like it's hard to describe, but it's very, very pretty. It's like another good basic color, but you can like jazz it up just a little bit. This one is by Sally Hansen, and it's a sparkly, sparkly, sparkly pink. And the color is called VIP Pink. It's very, very sparkly, just a lovely top coat. So here's that Sally Hansen VIP Pink. And this one you could wear by itself if you wanted. It is a little bit sheer, but it kind of fits that like jelly trend, and it is really very pretty. This one I think definitely needs some restore in here because it is very chunky glitter already, and I think it is solidified a bit. So this one is by Claire's, and it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous glitter, and the name is Glitter Top Coat. Very basic, and it's just very pretty. Here is that one, Claire's Glitter Top Coat. So you can see it's not just a silver glitter. It's almost like a silver base glitter, but lots of different like reflex in it, different colors. And it's just like a really fun glitter top coat. It's very pretty. I do have these two that I don't think I have swatches for because I don't really need swatches for them, because these are nail art like little bottles, and these have very, very thin brushes. You can see that. And so they are good for doing little nail art designs. And so I have a black one and then a white one, and these are just by LA Colors. And they're definitely, I mean, they're not the best polishes, but they're good for like little tiny designs. So these ones I'm gonna just set off to the side. This one is by the Color Workshop, and it is a like bright like fuchsia pink color. And let's see what number it has on the bottom. It's a 17 on the bottom, so let's see if I can find Color Workshop 17. There we go. It's very easy when they're very bright, obvious colors. So there's that. It's a very, very bright fuchsia pink color. This one is by Wet n Wild. It is called Black Creme. So yeah, it's just a good, like, basic black color. Go, there's that one. So it is kind of a glossy black, but it's just, you know, a good basic black color. Here is another black, and this one is by Sally Hansen. And this one is called, let's see, Chainmail. And so it's actually kind of like a gray black, or it's like a matte black. And so it dries like a little bit lighter than like a good just solid black. So this one here, this is Sally Hansen Chainmail. So you can see it's matte. And so it just ends up looking a little bit lighter than the glossy black. So it's like a very like charcoaly color. We've got just a few more nail polishes. This is another very bright pink. And it is from the brand Believin'. And it does not actually have a shade on the bottle, but I think this one came in an Ipsy bag that did have the shade on it. So let me see if I can find it on my little ring here. Yes, here we go. So this one was Believin' in the shade Awesome. Very, very bright pink, and it's so funny to have so many like similar bright shades, but to me it's like I do see a difference in all of these, and so I don't ever want to like get rid of them. This one is another one by Maybelline, and it is in the Salon Finish line, or from the Salon Finish line. And this one is called Nude Beach. Yeah, it's a very, very pretty, like, pearly nude color. It's very, like, a good classic, basic color. Here's that Maybelline Nude Beach. I have so many of these kind of, like, nude, neutral shades, but I think that they're just so pretty, and they are all slightly different. This one here, it's a little hard to tell because it's separated, but this one is also a silver glitter, and it is by Essie. And the color of this one, and I think I covered up the name right there. I can't quite tell exactly what it would be, so I'm going to see if I can try and find this on my swatch ring. Looking for an Essie polish. So I think it's this one. It would be called Frilling Me Softly. You can see it is just this kind of like big chunky, almost like long pieces of silver glitter. This one here is a really interesting one. It's almost almost like a black glitter, and it is by OPI. And the name of this one is called, let's see, So Elegant. There's the top swatch, so you can see it's just like chunky black glitter, so you do kind of need something underneath that, or I guess you can leave it if you wanted it to be like a very, very sheer. But here's that one. And I do like that there are these kind of bigger pieces in it, so it does kind of make it interesting. So I have done this one over just like a black polish, which is kind of fun because it's like black on black, but it just gives it a little bit of extra dimension. Just a really fun one to have. This one is a metallic-y silver by LA Colors, and it is called Tropical Storm. I have no idea why this one would be called Tropical Storm because it's like a metallic silver. I don't know. But it is very pretty. It's just like a good, nice metallic. So here's that one. LA Colors Tropical Storm. So you can see it is like a little bit of a darker silver. Like it's not as light as some of these other ones here. It is a little bit darker. So it is kind of nice just to have that kind of slightly different shade. Here is another LA Colors nail polish. This one is like a peachy apricot color. This one is called, let's see, Hottie. This, I think, is the one that I'd found in my swatches. Not there. Yes, here. And I had thought that this one could match the other LA Colors, but now that I know that I have this bottle, the other one I think is missing a swatch. So it is good that I pulled that off to the side already. Here is an older Revlon bottle, and it is a sparkly glitter, like a red glitter. And I think I covered up the color right there on the top. I think we could probably find this one in my glitter swatches. It is a Revlon. I think this is this one, yes. Staring Graffiti number 678. You can see it's like a red and white glitter. It's very interesting. And I think I used to use this one over like a white polish around like the 4th of July. So it's very like interesting glitter that I don't really have any other like red ones that are similar to this. Here is another LA Colors glitter top coat. This is kind of similar in color to the Claire's one, but I think the Claire's one is just a better nail polish. But it is like kind of chunkier, longer pieces of glitter. It's almost like confetti. And you can kind of see on this top swatch. So it's very like colorful, but kind of a main silver. And the name is called Tinsel. Okay, yeah. Tinsel is like exactly what this looks like. So I feel like that's a really good name for that. Here is the LA Colors Tinsel. As you can see, it is kind of like a milky background, which I think a lot of the LA Colors glitters I don't really like as much because of that. Like it mutes any base color that you already put down. But the glitter is very, very pretty. and it's just like little pieces of tinsel. And this is my last bottle in here. And this is another one by Essie. And this one is kind of a wild polish. And it is like a textured black nail polish. And it is called Belugaria. Not too sure, but you can see it's like the wildest textured polish. And it's just really weird, and I haven't ever really found a good way to use this one. But let me show you the swatch of it. Here's this one, Essie Belugaria. It's like beluga and Bulgaria mixed together. And you can see the texture of this one is just so weird. It's pretty solid black, but then it's got these really chunky bits of glitter, and so it doesn't really dry glossy. Like, it has texture to it. It's just like the weirdest thing. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but it's also just like a weird texture. Alright, so those are all of the polishes that are here in my organizer. So I'm going to go ahead and move this and show you the polishes that I usually leave out of here. So there may be ones that I use more frequently throughout the year, or that I just kind of travel with. So I have a couple of totes, like small little organizers up here. And these have my like top coats, base coats, kind of stuff like that. And then these ones are a mix of my kind of more regularly used polishes and the set of like JBL polishes, I think that's what they were called, that I had gotten in a gift set. I'm going to first show you all of my like top coats and different things like that. And my most used top coat, I would say, is the Sèche Vite. This is the Sèche Clear top coat. I just find that this makes my nail polish last so long. You can see my bottle here is like chipping off the writing. But yeah, the Sèche Vite is kind of my main go-to top and base coat. So this is the base coat version. And then this one is the Dry Fast top coat version for the Sèche Vite. So I usually always like to do the base coat and the top coat with this one. Usually, at least for my hands, or if I'm doing like nail polish on my fingernails, I'm a little bit more lax about the top coat if I'm doing like my toenails or something, but I do like these ones for my fingernails at least. And then I also have this Speed Setter top coat by Essie. And this is just like a good basic quick drying top coat. This is maybe one that I'll use like on my toenails if I'm not like too particular. You know, people aren't or shouldn't be like looking at my toes like that closely. So I'm not necessarily as worried about the finish. And this one is a base coat, and it's just kind of like a white basic base coat by LA Colors. It's not really that good, but I still have it. It like works okay, you know. And this is a matte top coat by OPI. I love the frosted glass of the bottle because it really kind of shows it's like a matte top coat. I am a sucker for matte nails. I don't do matte nails very often anymore just because they like chip and scuff so easily for me. But I love the look of a matte nail. And here is a Sally Hansen Dries Instantly top coat. So just another good basic top coat. I think a lot of these like other brand ones that I got were ones that I bought while I was like traveling and I forgot a top coat or something. But another good like basic top coat. I usually only ever go for quick drying top coats. Here is one by Nail Aid. It is a 3-minute gel coat. It says 11 times the gel power. I honestly haven't actually used this one very often, so I can't really speak to it, but I think that when I did use it, I think that I liked it. Again, I usually just stick with the Seche Vite. Here is a Rapid Dry top coat by LA Colors. And again, I don't think I've used this one much. I think that this was just one that I had to get while I was traveling and I forgot a top coat. I do have this other one. This is a Ultra Nail Hardener by LA Colors. And so this one is actually like a nail treatment, but I haven't really used this. Honestly, I am blessed with like quite strong nails. My nails aren't ever really like an issue for me, but I think when I was like messing around with nail polish a lot, I was kind of worried like that I might mess up my nails, so I just picked this up. But yeah, I feel like I don't really need it at all. And then lastly in this tub, I have this box of the Seche Restore. So this is what I use when I am trying to restore polish if it's gotten really thick and gloopy. But I always like to have some Seche Restore on me. So that is everything that I have over in this tub. Except, I mean, I have like a little storage box. But... And then in this tub here, let's go through my main like regularly used nail polishes. I would say they're all kind of like basic neutrals, and I guess I'll start with the brand. So this was the JLB brand. This was the brand that I did that video with to like swatch these. So I'm not really going to show you the swatches because I know that I have the swatches for all of them, but I am going to take them out of this little tote because I think that I want to try and find a way to organize them into my bigger organizer because I don't really, you know, reach for these ones a ton. I did the reds for the holidays, but other than that, that was kind of it. Okay. First color is just a very pretty basic pink, and this one is by Sally Hansen, and it is in the shade Petal Pusher, and it's just like a good, you know, basic like baby pink neutral color. So this is one that I do usually like to travel with, especially in the spring and summer, in case I just want to put some nail polish just really quickly on my nails. And let's see if I have this one swatched. I don't think that I do. No, I have a different Sally Hansen one. So I don't think that I have a swatch for this one, so I'm going to set this one off to the side. Here is another Sally Hansen one. Definitely needs a good shake. And this one is the, I think, Bear It All shade that we just saw in the swatch. So this is another good, like, basic neutral, but you can see it's a little bit darker. And so I do like it. It's like a very, like, my nude color. And so it's just like a good classic, like, it makes me feel a little bit more polished, but it's nothing like too bright. It kind of goes with any outfit that I have in mind. Here's that one, Sally Hansen Bear It All. See, it like matches my skin tone like perfectly. So it's like very, just a good, nice, neutral, bare nude color for me. Here is a Sally Hansen polish, and this is a glitter top coat, and it is, I think, my favorite glitter top coat, which is why I have it out and separate. But it is one of their diamond strength ones, so it has this really pretty little diamond detail on the bottom up here. And you can see it's called Diamonds. Let's see if I have that one swatched. I don't think that I have this one swatched yet, which is funny because it's seriously like one of my favorite go-to glitter top coats, because it is so sparkly. It's just like silver glitter. It's just beautiful. So I'm gonna set this one off to the side. Here is a nice kind of deeper mauve shade by Sally Hansen, and the shade is called, I think, Mauve Over. I blocked it. I need to be more careful with my placements of these top swatches. But yeah, it's called Mauve Over, and it's just a very pretty, I love mauve. Like most of my blushes and lipsticks are a similar mauve color. I think that it just tends to fit my skin tone the best. Here is Sally Hansen Mauve Over Swatch. So you can see it is like a little bit of a darker mauve, but it's very pretty. Again, I think that it fits my skin tone just really nicely. And it's another one of those good ones that I feel like can go with a lot of outfits. And it's not like too, like bright and outrageous, but it can make me feel just a little bit more put together. This one is just a basic white polish by OPI. And this one is called Alpine Snow. And I feel like everyone just needs a good basic white. I think this one is a good one for underneath quite a few of my like top coats or like glitter top coats and stuff like that. So I do like this one. It's, a good basic white. Now I think the only white one that I have is this LA Colors Flurry. I might have actually gotten rid of this one because I think it was like a nightmare to try and apply. I had to apply so many coats for it, and then it would just get really thick and it just looked terrible. But I don't think I have this one, but I'm not going to throw away my swatch because I'm not entirely sure of it. But I don't think I have the swatch for this one either, so I am going to move this one off to the side to be swatched at a later time. Here is a flower polish. Quite a few of these flower ones. And this one is in the shade, I think it's going to be really hard to see with a stamp over it, but it's called Make My Day Lily. It's very like basic nude color, my nude. It's like a good taupey nude color. So I do like this one. And here is that. It's Flower Make My Day Lily. So you can see, I think it's a little bit more yellowy. I mean, it's like a pretty neutral color, but I think I like kind of the more pink look for me. But like if I wanted a neutral basic like this in the fall, I think it's a good time for like this shade. Here is a gorgeous gold glitter, but you can see it's also mixed in with different, like lots of different shades of glitter. And so it's like a main gold, but that's just like a really pretty touch. And it is called Celestial, but in the middle it says less is more. I think that's very clever. It is like a very like trippy look to it, or it has a trippy look to it. But I think it is just gorgeous. And let's see, I think I do have it here somewhere. This is the OPI Celestial is More. You can see it's definitely mostly gold, but when you move it in the light, you can see all of that different color like reflect off of it. It's just so gorgeous. I love this one, and it's just, I like to have it in my kind of like grab and go tub here, because it's just like if I want to glam something up a bit, this is a very, very easy way to do it. Here is one by Essence, and this is the Shine Last and Go line. This one is a very true taupe color. It's like a purpley taupe color. And let's see what the name is. And the name is Don't Worry. And I really liked this one in the fall. I got this one a few years ago, and it was like my main go-to color in the fall. Here's that Essence Don't Worry. So you can see it's kind of like a gray taupe, but I think this was around the year when I just got all of those other gray taupey colors as well. I was just really in like a gray taupey mood. But I do really like this one in the fall for sure. It's just like a very pretty, like cool toned taupe. Here is another Sally Hansen one, and this one is actually very similar to the Petal Pusher one, but it is a little bit deeper, and it is called Buff and Tumble. And so it's another one of those like beautiful neutral shades that I find that I could wear like any time of the year. So this one is definitely kind of always in my like travel bag if I like want to travel with some nail polish. I don't know that I actually have a swatch for this one. Sometimes I'll get colors like this and they become like instant favorites and I just forget to swatch them. So I will move this off to the side. This one is by the brand Petites, I think, and it is called Bahama Splash. And this is such a pretty pearly white color. And this is actually the shade that I wore on my toenails for my recent cruise to the Bahamas. I felt like the name was very, very fitting. And it is just a beautiful, like pearly, opalescent color. So here's that Petites Bahama Splash. You can see it's just like a pearl. Like it's just so pretty. It's a very like good classic white, but it's not as stark as if I was just to do white polish on my toes. So I really, really liked this one for vacation. And it is a little bit sheer, so it does need a few coats, but I just love the color, so I'm happy to do whatever to make it work. And I have one more color up there. And this one is another flower nail polish. And you can see it's this very pretty light blue. But it's not like super, super bright. I find that it's a little bit cool toned. And it's just a beautiful like spring or summer color for me. And it's called Thistle or That. As you can see, I don't have many like colors in my kind of everyday nail polish kit, but this is the one that I do have because yeah, in the summer I could wear this like anytime and it's just so pretty. Here is Flower, Thistle or That. And you can see it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous blue, but it's like an in-between, like a blue and I don't even know, like a blue-green, but it's definitely like a nice, solid, light blue. So I do really like this one. I think this one looks really nice with my skin tone as well. Alright, after that very, very lengthy show and tell, those are all of my nail polishes. And it is a very, very large collection. I have a problem with getting rid of things, or I don't get rid of things, and that is the problem. So now I think I'm going to take a moment and put everything back in my organizing case. So I have added these JLB nail polishes over here. And then I do have some empty spaces just from the polishes that I set aside to be swatched. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up for now. I hope that you enjoyed this very lengthy nail polish show and tell, while I also maybe organized it just a little bit, mostly for my swatches. Please let me know if you enjoyed this and if you would maybe like some more like nail polish or nail themed videos. Thank you so much for